As of February 17th, this channel has officially become 1 year old. And now, of course, I am not a big channel by any means. I have around 200 subscribers and don't even have a full 100 videos, but I still feel like this is a point where I should celebrate what I've done. And, well, I want to get you in on this celebration. So even if nobody watches this video, the few of you who are going to watch this video get a free peek at behind the curtain and how I make these videos and just some of the process behind that. Also, I have a single question that somebody asked that I'll answer at the end of the video, and it's a pretty important one, so make sure you stay tuned for that. So, welcome everybody, and I'm Defeater of Souls, and today we're going to be looking at not Dragon Quest monsters, but how the videos about the Dragon Quest monsters are made. If you're interested in exclusively Dragon Quest monsters content, feel free to subscribe to my channel, and of course if you like any of my videos, make sure you leave a like. Now let's begin. So the first thing you do for any time you're making a video is you come up with a video idea. Now, of course, sometimes I do this by sending posts out to the communities. Usually some of you guys are pretty good at making it clear what you want me to make, what videos are interesting to you. Other times, I just kind of wing it. And after I have an idea of the video that I make, I do research. Usually I spend a good couple of hours researching, and I never spend a ridiculous amount of time because I don't have a ridiculous amount of time to spend. This is obviously not a full-time job for me. I have plenty of things going on in my life, and balancing this makes it much lower on the priority scale. So ultimately, I never do more than a couple hours of research in order to get a general idea of the topic I'm researching. For example, let's take the video where I rank every Dragon Quest monster's Joker's rank X monster. This was a fairly recent video and one I'm proud of, so go check that out if you haven't already. In this video, I came up with the concept that I wanted to rank a Joker monster rank. Since I haven't done too many Joker videos at the time, as in none at all. So I asked the community, and rank X was the rank in which people were the most interested in. After I had that idea and I'd cemented it through multiple polls, I then went online and went to see if I could find a reliable way to figure out the stats of all these monsters. After I'd done that, we were able to move on, and I was able to formulate my opinion about them and put them in a nice little ranking list. Now, I do not use an official script, mostly because taking the time to write out everything I'm going to say only to read off all of that is more time consuming than what I actually do, which is basically bullet points which just cover everything I want to say, and then I just kind of ad-lib it and add anything else. For example, this video is 100% unscripted because everything I want to say is pretty easy to just get across. It's a process that I've repeated hundreds of times now, even though it technically hasn't been hundreds of times. It feels like hundreds of times. After I have a full script set up and I'm pretty certain that everything is where I wanted, so in the case of the ranking list, I know where every person ranks and why. So, for example, in that list, I ranked Estark as the bottom monster, so I may have in a bullet point his strengths include the fact that he has good skills, his weaknesses are his low stats, and then I just kind of ramble on whenever I'm reading it in an actual video. Once I have that script set up, I do the recordings next. Generally, I don't have like a fancy microphone because once again, I'm not in a position where I can actually put too much money into this little hobby. So I just use whatever is pre-installed on my computer along with some recorder app that I use. It's nothing too special. Anyway, I record my videos and generally I do one or two takes. The goal is to read out the script and read out and say whatever I want, and basically as little time as possible. I want to say everything that needs to be said in a quick and concise manner, and I'm usually really bad at that. So now I do about 2 or 3 tries to make sure that I say everything I want to say and it comes out the way I want to say it. So for example, I had to retake this about 3 times for it to sound this way, and even then you can still hear me sometimes stop and try and think of the next word I'm going to say or say something different and then actually come back and change it around. So it's never perfect, but I don't have time to perfect it, so I just find the ones that I'm satisfied with and go from there. After I successfully have the recording, I use my very special video editing tool. Now, there are a lot of great video editing tools on the internet, and one of those is not Canva. That's right, I use Canva to edit my videos. It really gives them that nice slideshow look. And I have absolutely no regrets. Is this the perfect tool for editing videos? Absolutely not. But I know how to use it. It's completely free, so it works within my parameters. It does have limitations, like the fact that I can't make it 30 minutes or longer without paying money. But if I'm ever in a position where I want to make a really long video, because I know that would be the best way to do it, then I'd be willing to shell over the couple bucks just to do it for a month. So just so you know, don't use Canva if you're planning on starting a YouTube channel. There are much better video editors out there. Some of them are probably for free, but it's whatever works best for you. Anyway, I'll upload that audio, and I also generally, as soon as I upload that audio, I pair it with whatever music I want in the background. Usually I just play soundtracks from the old Dragon Quest Monsters games, and it took me a while to actually make sure I layered it right in order to make sure it wasn't overlapping with my own voice and that it actually balanced well. So once I have that where I want it and everything's in place, then we can move on to the next part, which is arguably the most important part. That's editing the video. Now, in my most recent videos, I'm really proud of how the editing looks. I've been able to find ways to get things to move back and forth on screen to correlate to whatever I'm talking about. Usually that's not the case. If you watch any of the older videos, and of course as of this video, that'd probably be within the 4 month range, maybe. Yeah, let's say 4 month range, you're gonna notice it's a bit more slideshowy. I think the real video where it first became obvious that I was putting more effort into it was one where I was talking about slimes, not the history of slimes. It was the Dragon Quest slimes you didn't know. Once again, great video. Feel free to check it out. I'm gonna keep recommending videos every time I get, just so you know. So after the video is done being edited, we are all good to upload it. I generally try to complete all my videos 1 week before I want to release them. Gives them plenty of time to make sure that everything is good and I didn't forget anything in the video, which rarely happens, but it does happen. And then I release it. And yeah, so that is the entire process behind how I make my videos. Now, there's a few other things I want to talk about pertaining to some of this before we can answer the question. The first thing is the question of the every other week. This is something I introduced in my video where I was talking about exclusive monsters. Once again, go check it out, great video. Anyways, I basically asked a question that I felt like was a fun little challenge. It wasn't supposed to be anything big, but people seem to enjoy it. So if you want to answer questions, I do try and also release trivia, um, but it's not exactly the same. And if you get this one right, you get mentioned at the end of the video. So feel free to do that. I'm also not answering the last question that I proposed in my protagonist ranking video yet, so if you want to answer that and you know the answer, go ahead and give it your best guess. So yeah, there's those. The other thing is shorts. Shorts aren't supposed to be like popular on shorts feeds because there's no way I'm going to be able to get into that market with what I do, and I have no intent of getting into the shorts feed competition. I basically take advantage of that to release short videos about single monsters. These are more Dragon Quest centered rather than Dragon Quest monsters, and are just a good way for me to talk about some interesting monsters without needing to dedicate entire 10-minute long videos to them. These are, of course, just meant for people who enjoy the other content on my channel. It's not meant for dedicated short viewers. So if you're interested in monsters, just one monster and their unique information, see if I have a short about them. Odds are, if I don't, I will make one in the near future or the distant future. You never know. There's plenty of monsters, so talking about them is going to take a lot of time. So yeah, that is the end of the video. So let's answer the one question that somebody asked for my 1 year anniversary, and that is whether or not I plan on talking about Dragon Quest content on a whole ever in the future. Now, if you look at my videos, not the shorts, just the main videos, there are about 2 or 3 videos where I do talk about Dragon Quest, but usually in the context of monsters in some way. This is intentional because Dragon Quest Monsters is a topic I have expertise on and feel like I know enough about to create videos about. Dragon Quest on a whole is a large series, a massive series, really. The most recent game, Dragon Quest XI, is over 100 hours. Um, for a normal playthrough of it. So it's a long time to dedicate to these games in order to feel free to put myself in a position to actually talk about them. It also doesn't help that Dragon Quest on a whole is a much more popular topic to talk about on this channel than other things like Dragon Quest Monsters. So, although I will continue occasionally making the spare video like I have been, odds are I'm going to be trying to stick to the Dragon Quest Monsters niche for the distant future. And I hope that's okay with you all. I do know that you guys are the backbone of the channel, and if you want me to try and do more mainline Dragon Quest content, I'll be willing to do that. But at the end of the day, the goal is to make this a Dragon Quest Monsters channel. So that is what most of my videos are going to be. There will be the occasional mainline, but that is the ultimate goal. So that was the answer to the big question. So, thank you very much for watching. Thank you for a great year so far and a great time. Thank you for all 220 of you who have subscribed to my channel and feel like this is something worth supporting. And here is to another great year of expansion in Dragon Quest and Dragon Quest Monsters to come. Thank you very much, and this has been Defeater of Souls.